And there is the tail of the tape. Ockendon's O'Leary with the 2 wins and just that 1 draw, unbeaten in 3. And you can see the 29 defeats for Josh Cook. But as I say, he might have only had 1 win, but he's only had 1 stoppage defeat as well. And that was 26 or so fights ago. It's a long, long time. He usually hears the final bell. Slight reach advantage for Cook and slightly heavier too.
Seconds out.
Here we go then. Let's say from the outset, of course, this is a fight that George O'Leary is expected to win. But at this stage of his career, it's about winning. But Barry, more importantly, it's about how you go about it and what you learn along the way.
Yeah, it is. I wouldn't say the performance is everything, but it is how he conducts himself. Yeah. What is he? He's 4 fights into a career. This would be the 4th one, of course. So he's gonna want to start showing a little bit bigger improvements, though.
Really like the patience he showed last time up against Navid Iran. He sort of built platforms bit by bit, and ultimately in the closing rounds that set up the opportunity. Very relaxed, composed, efficient, if you like, performance last time out, but ultimately through that efficiency he got a really spectacular stoppage. Confident start behind the jab, Sam, from the machine.
Yeah, he started well here. He must have learnt from obviously that draw that he had, like the fight against Navid Iran. I was there that night, and he boxed really well. So it'll be good to see how he builds on that here, to see if he's improved on anything from his last time out. Because like Barry says, it's about what you're learning while you're under the lights. Everyone can do it in the gym, but this is where you put to the test and see if you can develop them skills you've learned.
Up against a taller fighter tonight, Barry, as well. He's going to have to work hard to carve out the openings with that high guard.
But sometimes being tall can be a disadvantage, and I think the fact that Cook doesn't throw a lot of shots will make him a big target to hit. When you box a tall fighter, usually you've got to get inside that reach, and the jab keeps you at bay. But against Cook, he doesn't have that problem. So he's going to have the luxury of being able to slide in nice and low. And if you slide in low, when you look up, the vision you have of the target is much better than any other place. So you look up, you've got so many angles to look from. So that's the jab. I jab up, jab down, and then I'd look from there. Usually with the right hand over the top, but I would go up, go down, bend the legs, stay nice and low, and then look where you can work from that angle.
Cook is around 6 foot as well, so there's plenty of body if that's going to be an angle of attack. Good combination there from O'Leary.
Yeah, that's what he did there, exactly. He just got nice and low there, and he bent his legs for that right hand, and then given the range and the scope then to get that left hook to the head.
Looks a bit like Louis Van Pooch, doesn't he? Cook a little bit. Louis, now a referee, isn't he?
Yeah, he's doing his courses, ain't he? Yeah, I see him in Bournemouth. But what a journeyman he was. I mean, tough as they come, and he caused quite a few upsets along the way as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think he got a win right at the end, didn't he, as well?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
What a send-off. Well, the end of the first round, a good positive start this from O'Leary.
It is, yeah. He's been nice and patient. He's worked behind the jab, and he's found a few gaps in Cook's defence. He didn't rush his work. That was good first round there for O'Leary.
I think it's just starting to heat up inside as well. The crowd will be coming in. I think there's a good few hundred have come down from Luton for our top of the bill a bit later on, so I think it's going to be noisy. Plenty of support for Jordan Reynolds in that big one coming up later on, and looking forward to seeing Michal Nestor as well, the big Romanian heavy.
Yes, really looking forward to him. Really looking forward.
Quite a few fights before those two, the feature and co-feature. Here into round 2 then, it's George O'Leary, the Essex boy in the black, up against the Mancunian Josh Cook. That high guard, and that might just create some openings under the elbows if O'Leary can find the gaps.
You just got to make the most when he gets him on the ropes, take full advantage of it. So when he backed him up there, he took a step back, and that's not a bad thing, but he could have just moved around, took a little step to the right, and just opened up for the left hook. Got a different angle of the shot there. It's hard for Cook to defend against, and you're in a safe place when you throw it.
A little change of pace to what he's doing as well wouldn't go amiss. Like, everything seems to be stiff and hard. I'd like to see a touch, maybe get his feet close enough, and then maybe let a few shots go, like on that sort of.
It's a good point, that, because it's just the question I was going to ask. That O'Leary works in his own rhythm, at his own pace, and I suppose when you get a crafty, defensively minded fighter in front of you, I'm just wondering if maybe you want gears, Barry, to maybe unsettle that.
He does. You just got to be careful when he does it. He does it from a, he gets his feet in the position first before he lets his hands go.
That's what you're talking about there, isn't it, Barry? When he slips inside that jab, that's when he needs to come up.
Yeah, you got. He sort of he's done the job. He's done his job, and he slipped. And he slipped. And when you slip shots, you should always slip coming forward, never going back. By the way, because that puts you in a bad balance, bad position. But I mean, you slip coming forward, but then you're there. You've done the job. Your shoulders turned. There's a left hook to play, or a left uppercut to throw.
A couple of cuffing nuisance shots from Cook, but you can see how cute he is, just rolling his shoulders away from the shots, riding some of the punches or getting himself out of position. And you can see this is a bit of a puzzle that O'Leary's, if he wants to apply some pressure, is going to have to try and solve tonight.
I boxed a gentleman called Willie Warburton.
Oh yeah, one of the best.
I could not hit him. If you said hit him with a right hand, give you £1 million, I wouldn't have been able to do it. I could not hit him all night long. They're so good at what they do, these boys. He
could fight a bit, Willie, as well when he wanted to.
Yeah. I'm glad he didn't not outbox him.
Good stiff jab there from O'Leary. There's the combinations as well. Left hook to the body, which is the money punch for him last time out.
It's very difficult. You need to get the tactics
Seconds
right
out.
The guy to open up the defense of a guy who's not coming to win and being really negative. It's sometimes hard to open him up if you don't have raw power.
He's doing his job, isn't he? Josh Cook doing his job. Nice stabbing jab to the body there from O'Leary at the start of this third round. Scheduled for 6, mind you. Been 4, of course, and he went 5 last time up, so potentially it's going to be a step into the unknown. That's another box that has to be ticked. A while to go before that, but I suspect that would have been odds on but before a ball was kicked.
He's boxing well. The jab's good. It's sharp. He's bending with it when he throws. So he throws it from his hip a little bit because he bends down and opens his legs. He gets his legs a bit wider, makes it hard to target to fire back from.
I'd just like to see him try and stab the little gap between the elbows as Cook double guards up. Just stab the body and then work your way up the target. Try and get him to lean back. And just go a little bit off balance before he lets them big shots go.
Yeah, doubling up on the jab there, O'Leary.
Low there with that left hook. We love a low body shot, don't we now? We love it, don't we?
I tell you what,
I was just going to say, was it low or was it borderline?
I'll tell you what it does, maybe.
See, borderline is low. There's no such thing as borderline. It'd drive me mad, that all week.
But it does, I think, among fans, and actually, if the reaction on Twitter to Dubois Usyk the other week is anything to go by, I think there's been a misunderstanding with fighters themselves about the waistband, the body line, all of those things. I think are slightly misleading.
And what's being protected.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And obviously, it's an evolving situation depending on whether or not the shots are riding up or down.
It's definitely like it's been even some fighters are saying it was a solid shot. So it's definitely like a little grey area that needs clearing up.
And I think, yeah, absolutely. He tried a swiping uppercut. That's a nice overhand right. Maybe trying something slightly unorthodox just to unsettle Cook.
He's boxing well in this round here, O'Leary. He knows what he's up against, and I think he's boxing accordingly. He's getting nice and calm and controlled. He's not getting carried away. See, sometimes you can think, I've got to put it on him and do more work and be busier. But you can run out of steam. Missing is one of the most tiring things that can happen when you throw shots. And the last thing you want to do is be in round 4 and 5 and gassing in a fight like this. So he's a nice controlled display, I think.
Yeah, he's been quite efficient with what he's doing, hasn't he? He's picked his shots quite nice. Nice little uppercut there as well.
Oh, nice jab. Smart, he liked that. Yep. Starting to enjoy himself. I think he's starting to really relax and build into it. Good round that from O'Leary. Best round of the fight so far. Do you actually think it's a conversation that needs to be led forward in the eyes of boxing fans, the public, but also fighters and people in and around the game about what is a legal body shot or otherwise.
Most boxers and boxing people who work in boxing don't know the rules of the sport.
That's what I think.
I'm one of them, by the way. I'm not saying that I know it all and they don't know. I mean, I'm one of them. I don't know that. There's things I find out all the time. Scoring as well, about when it's been, if you've won a round but then you've been had a point taken away, about scoring that round, and people don't all know how clear things are. So I think things need to be more clearly. But the referee could have done it. I think before every contest, the referee should state publicly for everyone watching and to the fighters and their corners that foul line where it is. I think that once they establish that, we know from the offset there. And the referee never did that in Poland.
No.
And so we have to take Frank Warren's word or the users' cam's word and what was said behind closed doors.
Well, in this round 4, let's see if O'Leary can carry on the momentum he created. Looks like he's just trying to up the pace a little bit here. But that balance as well for any sportsman or women about going through the routines and the processes that you've learned and have practiced in the gym, but then on the night having the freedom to perform and allow yourself to breathe and show yourself.
The things you've got to believe in, your ability, of course. Also, if you're a puncher, that you can always hurt a guy. But also, your engine is something that you learn about as you go around your career. The fact that, can you put your foot on the gas for every round in a fight? Almost impossibly not. But holding back sometimes in rounds can do you more harm than good. By the way, you're trying to save energy for later on in the fight. You might not get to later on in the fight. You have to go and win that round. That's the most important thing for any fighter. Win that round.
Again, looking for the uppercut again. It's not quite worked yet, but you got to keep trying. And Sam, as you've gone through your career, are there definitely mental boxes ticked as you go from 4 rounds to 6 rounds to 8 and then up to 10 and 12?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the first one is, can you take a shot when you get hit back by someone? Because you can do it in sparring in big gloves and stuff like that, but when you get hit in these little gloves, that's the first one mentally that you tick. And then like you learn about pacing yourself, like Barry's just said, about like when to go, when not to go, when to relax your shots. But he's doing that really well, really well.
He is, you're right. I think he is pacing himself really well. He could have thrown more punches, he could have been more assertive, but I think he knows that he's up against a guy who's experienced of covering up, and he'll tie him up. I think he's boxed well. Or
if he's too erratic, he's just going to make him miss because he's slipping behind that shoulder. And like you say, that's when you start looking ragged and your performance is hindered then.
And when you control the pace, you're more relaxed because you're going at your own tempo. So your shoulders are looser, your punches are more fluid, and you don't waste so much energy.
Good round, very good round.
Yeah, a couple of flashy shots there from O'Leary. I think in the last 2 rounds, I think he's really enjoyed himself. I think he's comfortable in that. Into round 5 then. 5th round, of course, it was towards the end of it that he stopped Navidiran last time up with that terrific right left hook to the body. Mind you, in amongst all of this, we've got to say that Josh Cook has taken everything in his stride.
Yeah, he has, and he's kept that chin really, really elusive and guarded. Good shot there though from O'Leary. O'Leary, he's been landing on the target. He hasn't really hit him full-blooded yet with a shot.
And when you've got a situation like that, say where there's a very obvious shoulder body roll from the left to the right. So he's basically defending his right side, and he's saying to you, hit me with a left hook or hit me with a left hand. And he knows that's coming. What's the way round that if you're O'Leary to try and counter those kind of moves?
It's very hard. That's why these boys that's why they only get stopped once in so long, because they're so good defensively. They're so good at making you miss, and they know the shots that they can take and the ones they have to defend against. So, but what O'Leary's doing here is good, pushing him back onto the ropes, letting the shots go to the body, then coming up to the head. But while he's shoulder rolls, I'd like to see him double some shots up, maybe with the lead hand, double the left hook up.
Oh, there's the left hook. Just as he dropped, there were a few body shots in the exchange against the ropes previously, and he just managed to prize that guard down. Barry, left hook landed, one of the best shots of the fight.
Yeah, you see the gap, he jumped in from out of distance, but he knew exactly where he was going with it. Good shot. But again, though, he's stayed calm. He hasn't rushed his work. He knows who he's up against. How durable Cook is.
Just rides everything, doesn't he, Cook?
Yeah.
That's what I mean about doubling the shot up. As he turns, if you throw it again, he might turn back onto it. But I suppose he's seen that about 100 times as well. So
He's just up the pace, though, hasn't he? So third into the fourth, into the fifth.
He has. Yeah, it's been really good work from him.
shot.
Nice right hand. A little short right hook come uppercut there from O'Leary.
He really does grow through a fight, don't he, O'Leary? Really, really well. Whilst maintaining a good level of...
Yeah, good work ethic.
Yeah.
He's quite busy, isn't he, throughout. Always keep you thinking.
But nothing's forced or like draining, you know?
Yeah.
He don't waste a lot. He's quite efficient with what he does. Shot.
Just about landed with the left hook. It was almost the only punch that was available to him, the way that Cook was leaning away. That's a nice body assault. The second time he's managed to pin him up against the ropes just above us, and that's the fifth round completed. So it's going to be new territory for George O'Leary.
Second down,
Which is fine.
sixth and final round.
Moving that semicircle, like I mentioned earlier, around the body, it'll give him a better angle of attack.
Here we go then, into the sixth round for the first time in the fledgling career of George O'Leary. And it's the sixth time for Josh Cook. No stranger to this, and no stranger to hearing the final bell. 26 times on the bounce over the last 22 months for him.
The body shot there, just a second ago there from O'Leary. Lovely left hook.
I was watching Cook. He was up off his stool about 20-30 seconds before the start of the sixth round. Totally nonplussed. I think he'd be a good poker player as well, I suspect.
I was just thinking his face has not changed for the
Not
whole
one bit.
fight. Not one bit.
Yeah.
I don't know why he sat down, because it took him 20 seconds to sit down. It did. He's quite cleverly, actually, O'Leary, because he's done this a couple of times. The few times Cook has come forward, when he's moved back, O'Leary follows him out with that jumping left hook, catches him.
Oh, right hand. I think he just caught him on the shoulder. Just not quite. There's that left hook that he leaped into so successfully in the previous round. That was cheeky, wasn't it? Lead right hand there from Josh Cook, just to keep O'Leary honest.
Really turning the pressure up now, O'Leary.
He's really got to be careful about what punches coming back.
Yeah.
That's good footwork there from O'Leary, that's better.
Changing the angle, lovely.
Yeah,
Yeah, and he's trying so hard, isn't he? And you see how difficult a defence that is to prise open. Josh Cook knows exactly what he's doing.
trying to load up now, isn't he, here, O'Leary?
Going for a big finish.
A nice solid jab there.
Yeah, there's an element of finish line is in sight. I've got a bit of energy left in the legs, so let's use it up. And that's a good sign going forward when you're thinking about 8 rounds further down the line.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Everyone wants to finish strong, and if you've got in the gas tank, you've got to put it on him, haven't you? You still got to be aware not to make silly mistakes and walk into a stupid shot.
Big finish from O'Leary. An excited finish. There's the left hook again, which has been the punch, just missed with the uppercut. A warm embrace with Josh Cook. Very good. Very good from both of them.
First bit of emotion that Josh Cook's shown for the whole night.
Big,
he's
wide
giving O'Leary a
grin.
bit of credit, saying, like, you know, I was like, I could feel the shots or so, or I was knackered or something.
Absolutely invaluable.
That's a good display there from O'Leary. That's a really good performance, I thought. You know, these are the sort of fights where you can lose interest, where you can get this hand, or you're not hitting the target clean, and sort of go into your shell and just throw single shots. But he tried to build on every round, didn't he? Tried to be a bit more assertive, tried to get the combination punches into play, and then later on in the fight, there he was moving the feet around different angles, and the left hook was a good shot, he took some good right hand, and the jab was always a constant weapon for him.
They both did their job really well tonight, and there are almost levels within the journeyman industry, and there are guys like Josh Cook who are towards the upper end when it comes to the job of a journeyman, which is difficult for people sometimes outside the sport to understand just how good he is.
After 6 rounds of boxing, we go to the referee scorecard. Referee Mark Bates scores the bout 60-54, and your winner, still undefeated, George the Machine O'Leary.
6-round distance for the first time, box ticked. Had to work hard, work through each round, and as he did last time, though he didn't get the stoppage.
First time banking the full 6 rounds, but it looked like you enjoyed yourself in there.
Yeah, I did enjoy myself. Didn't get the finish like I wanted to, but he's an experienced lad, and hats off to him for taking the fight, because we had a lot of pullouts. So thank you to Josh and his team, and thank you to everyone that's come here to support. My sponsors, definitely you, Ollie, mate. Without you, I couldn't do this career. So thank you to everyone.
Yeah, this fight was made 1 week ago. A few change of opponent, as you mentioned. How frustrating is that leading up to a fight?
Well, let me tell you, when you've got to go up to 80 kilos and weigh in a day before and then get told you've got to be 76 and weigh in 2 hours before your fight, that's a stone in difference if anyone doesn't know, nearly. So that's quite hard to do. But we stayed focused, we got the job done, and we've got to win. It doesn't matter how you win, just getting a W on your record, that's all that matters. Thank you to my Thank you to my team, Ian, Brian and Nicky. Like family to me, they do everything for me day in, day out. And I've not achieved anything yet, so they're doing it for free. So blessed to them guys, they're amazing.
Now that is your 3rd fight of the year so far. What is next? When are we next seeing you out?
Oh, you'll see me at McDonald's car park in about 10 minutes. I'm not sure. We take every day as it comes, and as you know with this fight, we've had so much messing about, but thank you to Johnny Clark and Top Tier for sticking by me and getting me on. I appreciate it a lot.
Well done, great performance.
Thank you very much and have a lovely weekend.